Recording live from Glory Hole Studios in Chicago and beyond. This is Cognitive Dissonance. Every episode we blast anyone who gets in our way. We bring critical thinking, skepticism, and irreverence to any topic that makes the news, makes it big, or makes us mad. It's skeptical, it's political, and there is no welcome mat. It's the day you're listening to this. I don't know when that is. When's this show come out?
Come out next Thursday?
Well, it's next Thursday then. Enjoy your next Thursday.
What is next? What is next? What's today?
It's the 5th, so it's got to be the 12th.
So the 12th. Yeah, she'll be the 12th.
So it's the 12th when you're hearing this. And today's our funny show. I fucking love doing these funny shows, man.
Big fan.
God.
And especially the stories on this one are a fucking hoot, man.
Are fucking great. So let's launch right into this. If you're hearing this, it's probably, I don't know if Trump and fucking Elon Musk have had their cage match in the octagon yet or whatever is about.
God, I hope so.
Stupid, surrealist bullshit is about to happen
I hope
next.
fucking Trump has him arrested and deported.
Cecil. Cecil. Oh, he should revoke his citizenship.
He could, right? Couldn't he?
Could he? Oh, Cecil.
I think we need to play. Let's just take a second. I don't even believe this, but let's think this into existence really quick, really hard.
It's going on my vision board.
I'm gonna count to 3 and then we'll push really hard.
Okay, all right.
1, 2, 3.
I pooped a little.
Okay. I made it.
I did it.
I peed a little and I pushed it out into the world.
Oh, God. Fucking give birth to that one.
God, man. Wouldn't that be amazing?
It's on my vision board so hard.
God, it would be so amazing if he fucking kicks him out of the country. God, that would be the best.
Oh.
It would also show you what kind of country you live in, too.
I mean, that would be an immediate descent into fascism. Don't get me wrong. It'd be like, that would be... What I was thinking too,
but
though,
it would be like a wacky, fun one.
It would.
You know what I mean? Like if you can choose a descent into fascism, you want the guy who's goose stepping off and at that whatever that movie was. With
Beautiful
the kid,
Mind or Beautiful Life. Beautiful Life. Yeah, Beautiful Mind. That fucking math guy
goose steps off and gets murdered at the end of the movie.
Jesus
Sorry,
fuck.
Roseblood's all to the side, so I just ruined everything for it.
I was just thinking though, like, how much of Musk's anger do you think comes from his sense that, hey, I fucking bought you?
I know, man. I know, dude.
Right? Because he's like,
dude.
I bought you and you're not doing what I said. And like, I think that most of his anger probably stems from, I thought I was buying this politician and now he's not doing what I said.
How much did he spend?
$250 million.
Dude, that's $250 million that man spent.
Yep.
You would think that would get you the tote bag. You know what I mean? Like where he totes your balls around. But instead,
fucking real, man.
No, didn't get you anything.
You think
God, got had. He got fucking
so
taken.
bad.
Do you know what the worst part is? The worst part is you can't even look at your kid and be like, we were beaten by the best because it's Trump. It's fucking Trump.
That's so fucking funny.
God, you were beaten by a fucking loser.
Jesus Christ. It's like I hate them both so much that like I just can't stop loving the fact that now they hate each other. I love it so much. Yeah. It's so great, man.
Yeah,
it's so
I want
great.
them to hate each other.
Oh, it's good. It's good. All right, so speaking of keeping America great, the stories from USA
I don't
Today.
get this one at all.
Inmate's last words before execution. President Trump, keep making America great. So these were literally like Cecil, I think when we think about the most important constituencies in America, we too frequently ignore the serial killers.
We do. We do. It's something we pass over. We don't think about them.
You know, they're a long maligned and oft forgotten demographic of America, politically disenfranchised. Who will think of the serial killer, Cecil? Oh, me, oh my. This is literally a serial killer.
I know. And what is so crazy is if you read this story, he when they caught him, he's some kind of charismatic serial killer, where he would like
the Casanova killer.
Casanova killer.
Yeah.
So he was like he was like wooing people or whatever. But then he also confessed to Nicole Brown Simpson and the other guy. Like he just confessed to something he didn't even do because we know someone who did it.
Right.
They wrote a book about it. Come on, you didn't do that.
Come the fuck on. You're taking one for OJ.
In any case, this person is just like confessing to crimes they didn't even do. But then when they're getting ready to kill him, the person who's in there, whose loved one was killed by this person, is in the execution room, get to watch them. That's also kind of strange too, by the way. I just want to point out that the person who's had a victim, like their relative of one of his victims is able to see him die, which I don't know that I can wrap my head around that. But in any case, before he dies, he's like screams like, not only screams like freedom, like fucking Braveheart or whatever. Then he's like, "Make America great again," and then he like dies. And you're like, "What?" The person who was watching it was just like, "Yeah, no, I don't even get it.
Yeah,
like, I can't.
You guys,
I can't even wrap my head around that."
This is the comment. So this is crazy. So, like, I can wrap my head because again, themes.
Yeah, sure.
I am a worse person than you. So, like, if somebody killed my kid or my wife, and they're like, well, we're going to kill that guy, I'd be like, yeah, I'm fucking there. Like, I don't even believe in the death penalty. I think it's bad policy. I think it's extremely indefensibly grotesque public policy. That said, on a personal level, if somebody kills my loved one and I'm 100% certain it's them, and they're like, do you want to go see that person who killed your son or your daughter or your wife?
Yeah.
I'd be like, see it? Yeah, man, I'm going. Like, I'm a bad guy. So, like, I would go. So I get that part. But this is like, this person says, Randy Roberson, whose mother, Andy Lou Giles Stilton, was a victim of the Casanova killer, witnessed the execution, said Rogers' comment about Trump seemed to confuse people in the room. I was like, where did that even come from? He said. And that guy's wife, the guy I just read, that guy's wife, who was also a witness, said she thought, what the hell? This story comes from Fox 5. RUMP. Customers upset with missing T in Trump-branded watch that cost $640. Some dude bought his wife a present. It's a Trump watch from the fucking Trump
it's not.
shilling site. Yeah,
it's
not.
A RUMP watch. Thank you very much.
God, what an ass, Cecil.
I love this so much. I love that somebody is just like, hey, man, I'm gonna go out and buy my wife a Trump watch. But they walk out and they're like, yeah, I'm gonna give you this watch. And it's got a fucking they didn't put the T on there.
Yeah, dude, this is exactly the kind of quality control that we would expect from a RUMP branded product. This is like when you get like an off-brand Rolex and you get it and it's like fucking made in China and it's like, I have an authentic Bolex, you know? And you're like, man. Oh my God. It's a fucking, like, this is a fucking $640 watch with the same attention to detail as something you get from a fucking quarter machine at the fucking grocery store.
I don't know much about watches. It feels like an expensive watch to me.
That's a mid-price.
It's
very
more expensive than my watch, which is an Apple Watch.
Yeah. Like, I will say, like, as I have a few watches, that would be, for me, that would be an expensive watch, but that would not be considered like an expensive timepiece at all. Like, that would be like a mid-priced watch in that world, right? So, but like a $600 watch, you can get like a nice Movado watch. You can get a nice quality watch.
But did they spell it Movado?
This is a Novado. That's not the same. Yeah, like you would expect a certain amount of quality control, such as like the name that is like essentially the brand.
A 1T. I would like a T, please. It's so funny because they literally just cribbed the dude's name just so they could sell a watch, and then they spelled it RUMP so then they don't have to pay any royalties.
Well, no,
that's smart.
But I think that it's confusing because it says from the article that the ads, so forgive me, the ads feature Trump in the ads talking, and the site is Get Trump Watches, and the site says its watches are the official watches of Trump. But in the small print, it says that it licenses the name and likeness. So he gets a licensing fee. Because that guy will put his fucking name.
Our fucking president is selling his licensing fee to a company that can't even spell his name right.
Cecil, do you think he only got 80% of the licensing fee since he left off 20% of the
They
letters.
left off 20% of the names.
I'm going to license part of my name, but not the whole thing. I'm not
it's
entirely
fucking-
for sale.
God, it's so amazing.
Fucking rump watch.
God.
Oh, it's so good. God, these fucking fools will buy anything.
You put it next to your head to see if it's working, and it's the rump shaker because you're shaking it back and forth.
This story's fucking bonkers. It's from USA Today as well. Kindergartner brought Jell-O shots to school, gave them out to students.
Dude.
I mean,
Okay, first off, Jell-O shots are disgusting. Like,
Thank
okay,
you.
first let's just get there first. Let's just start with, don't ever make Jell-O shots. Just drink the liquor. Like, what is wrong with you? Jell-O shots are foul. They're disgusting. Like, why on earth would I want to take a thing that already doesn't taste great, add alcohol to it so it tastes worse, and then have to chew it instead of quickly drink it? Like, why would I do those things?
no. Look, here's the thing. A Jell-O shot contains roughly 1/3 the amount of alcohol as a shot. Because it's full of Jell-O, guys. It's
Yeah.
Jell-O and water. The Jell-O shots, you can't just use just booze and the Jell-O. The Jell-O takes up space in the shot cup, right? The water takes up space in the shot cup. It's 1/3 the amount of booze. And now you have to suck down a fucking Jell-O booger that tastes like fucking vodka, kind of, but not much. It's a bad way to have Jell-O. It's a bad way to have alcohol. It's a bad thing to leave out for your kindergartner.
It's really bad to leave out for your kindergartner.
Cecil.
Yeah.
I've raised too many kids.
Yeah, so many.
At no point in their kindergartner lives is there a way for them to transport a tray of Jell-O shots to school without my knowledge.
Without you knowing it, right?
First of all, let me you just gotta run through the Mission Impossible-esque scenario that has to have happened here. First of all, I have to have like Jell-O shots I made, but am not using for some reason. The only time anybody has Jell-O shots is because like they're having a frat party tomorrow.
Yeah, there's like a kegger or
There's
something.
no
Yeah.
adult is like, let's make Jell-O shots. Like, you're not a person that should have children. If you have Jell-O shots and children, the government should take one of the two away. That's it. That's it.
And they should come up and spin a wheel
Yeah.
to see which one that is.
I don't actually care which one they choose. Like,
Yeah.
it's fine. So, like, but like Jell-O shots, like, oh, so maybe you're having a party that night. I don't even, you made them on Thursday for your rager on Friday or something. So Friday morning, your kid wakes up and they're going to go to school and they look in the fridge and there's what, like a tray of Jell-O shots? And they just get themselves up and off to school without your supervision and get
then
on
they
the school bus with a tray of Jell-O shots?
Then
What
they
is happening?
carefully and don't spill an entire tray of Jell-O shots the entire way there without your help. That's impossible.
A
I don't believe
kindergartner's
it.
5.
I don't believe
I don't
it.
believe it either. A kindergartner is a 5-year-old kid, man. Even a precocious 5-year-old kid is not like waking up in the morning and like you're not helping them get ready for school and you're not helping them like do any of that stuff. And they're just going in the fridge and grabbing a tray of Jell-O shots apropos of fucking nothing. What? And then just toddling off with their fucking oversized backpack and they're fucking off to the school bus with your fucking tray of Jell-O shots. You wake up in the morning at fucking 2 PM or whatever because you're the worst parent in the entire world because you let this happen and you're like stagger bleary-eyed downstairs to calm your nerves with a nice Jell-O shot and you're like, kids took them to school again.
There's 4 texts from the principal there with like, I'd really like to speak to you right now, please. You know what? Here's what you do. If you think Jell-O shots are a thing, right, that you should do or whatever, do this instead. Drink those froofy shots. So like, get one of those like ones that's like part Bailey's, part some hard liquor, and then like part something else, and then you drink it and it tastes like a fucking coconut fucking pie or something like that, and it fucking like 3 of them and you're gonna vomit, right? They're like shit like that. Like drink those. Those are awesome. They taste really good. That's like drinking dessert, and then you get fucking hammered from them. Like that's what you should focus on if you're ever considering a Jell-O shot. Instead, just do like a buttery nipple or something.
Yes. Yeah, clearly you're doing this, and I get it. You're doing it because you don't want to taste the booze. That's cool.
Yeah.
A lot of booze tastes super bad. I totally am with you. But like, 1, like, don't leave it out for your 5-year-old. That's fucking weird. 2, just pick booze that like is overpowered by the other ingredients. It's fine. I also don't understand the like, let's fill a watermelon with vodka and then eat the watermelon. You could just have
no. That's terrible.
Don't do that. It's not good watermelon. Watermelon is delicious.
Not good booze.
And it's not good booze. Why are you so mad at all the things in your house?
Yeah,
Why?
man.
Just fucking, if you want to do that, just fucking go under your sink and drink fucking, dish soap or whatever you got laying under there. You clearly have no taste buds left. Fucking in serves you right news. This is from The Guardian. Man died of blunt force injuries at U.S. Zoo after suspected kangaroo fight.
Jesus Christ. They can fight you?
Kangaroos? Kangaroos will fuck you up. They used to put kangaroos in boxing rings as an exhibition.
Really?
Yeah, so this was like an exhibition thing that used to be part of like turn of the 20th century Americas. They put kangaroos in a boxing ring, and they put little gloves on the front legs of the kangaroo. Little front like, and then people would get in the ring expecting the kangaroo to use its little front paws.
But it doesn't.
It uses its
bottom
massively powerful bottom feet that are used to propelling a 200-pound kangaroo 7 feet down, like fucking box jumping 7 feet in the air. It just fucking pummels the shit out of people. Kangaroos will fuck you up, man.
There's a video that I was watching a while back where it was this dog. I guess this dog was getting like headlocked by one of them, right? So this dog's getting headlocked. And this guy just runs out there and he's like, hey, and the kangaroo lets go of the dog, and the dog kind of runs away, and it's looking at him, and the guy just goes, boom, and he punches him right in the mouth. And then the kangaroo just stands there. It's like, what did you do that for? And then that's it. And then the guy walks away. Like, he jacks the thing right in the face. He like walks up and he's like, poo, and the thing just eats that punch. It just ate it. It was just like, yep. And then he's like, all right, well, I guess we're done.
Well,
anyway, I'm leaving.
I gotta
go.
The
dog was all right, and the dog left. But I guess they had the dog in like a headlock. And I was reading some comments where they're like, yeah, man, I don't know if they kill dogs or if they attack dogs or hurt dogs or whatever down there in Australia. But they were saying, like that might happen on occasion, and like, you just stay away from the fucking kangaroos, man. You just stay the fuck away from them. Why would you? Did this person get into an enclosure? That's what happened, right?
Yeah, it's like, this is the dumbest shit in the world. So this was actually a petting zoo. Let me read part of this. It's fucking crazy.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, here, this is the dumbest shit in the world. Eric Slate, 52, died of multiple blunt force traumas. Local officials said Slate, brother of Five Star Farms owner Robert Slate, liked to enter the enclosure containing the kangaroos and wallabies and roughhouse with a kangaroo named Jack. So Cecil, this is a guy whose brother had a fucking petting zoo, and he's like, yeah, I want to get in there and just like fuck around and see if I can find out. So he gets in there and he fucking engages this kangaroo. This is a kangaroo who's about the same size as this guy.
Yeah, you definitely want to go for a weight class a little below yours.
Just a fucking.
You don't want to go for your weight class. Like, I certainly wouldn't want to fight a raccoon. I wouldn't want to fight a raccoon my size either.
Can you imagine?
But I wouldn't want to fight a kangaroo my size,
dude. Every wild animal will kick your ass.
Yeah,
every single like a ladybug. A ladybug will fucking swoop in and beat your. Like, every wild animal will kick your ass, no matter who you are. I remember, like, I was jogging. I probably told this story before, but like, I was jogging years ago, and I was about 18, summer after my senior year. I was jogging, and somebody's German Shepherd had gotten out. And the German Shepherd decided it didn't like joggers, and so it jumped up on me and was like barking and snarling and like in my face. Like, it's like fucking paws were on my shoulders. Big ass dog. And I thought this dog was gonna fucking eat my face. And I punched that dog. I'm 18, and I'm a strong 18. And I punched that dog in the fucking side of its head as hard as I could, with fear and adrenaline coursing through my young, strong body. The dog popped down, popped right back up. Like, all I did was unbalance it slightly for a second. The dog didn't care at all and was legitimately going to eat my actual face until its owner came out and then yelled at me as it restrained the dog for punching his dog. And I was like, your dog was going to eat my actual face, the face I used to be a person. Like, what is happening? And I'm in trouble.
You say that, Tom, but there's like that story of that guy who like tore a jaguar's tongue out with his bare hands to kill it. Like, you say that, and I'm like, yeah, I agree. And then at the same time, there's a human being who's like, I will use this mitt to pull a jaguar's tongue out of its body.
That's true.
And kill it.
That's true. That's true. So let me rephrase it. Most people will get killed. Like every wild animal. Like there was I remember years and years and years ago listening to like a This American Life story.
The squirrel?
About like, no, there's about what I was thinking of is like, there was like a rabid raccoon. Some like lady was like walking down, it's like, she had like one of those like long rural driveways.
Yeah,
She's going to get her
this
mail.
one too. Yeah, yeah.
And a raccoon with rabies came at her. And it took
a
her
Radiolab.
and her, was it Radiolab? There you go.
I think it was.
It like took her and her husband to like get away from this raccoon.
Yeah, they had to beat the shit out of it and try to get away from it. And it was like still coming at him.
Dude, a raccoon is a fucking fifth of my size.
I was remembering the squirrel story when the squirrel, these guys are trying to catch the squirrel to like
yes
get it, and then like the squirrel like causes a bunch of havoc. It's actually not good for the squirrel, so I don't want to relate the story. But it's a whole thing on like This American Life called Squirrel Cop. You can
I
search
remember
for it.
that one. Yeah. Fucking guy wanted to get in a roughhouse with a kangaroo.
I think the name of it is Fiasco, maybe was the name of the episode. I can't remember. I think it was Fiasco was the name of the episode. But it's Squirrel Cop. If you search for Squirrel Cop, you'll find it.
I also want to say, the final thing I'll say about this kangaroo story is like at the end of it, they're talking about like the tribute that they had to this brother at the funeral. And I thought to myself when I read it, like, man, I wouldn't even have a funeral for somebody this stupid. Like, you know what? I wouldn't even have a funeral.
They are part of the petting zoo now.
That's it. For like somebody I know is like, I tried to roughhouse with a kangaroo and it done killed me. I'd be like, yeah, I didn't know that guy.
Yeah,
like,
they have like an unknown person's funeral, like down at where they're just like, yeah, nobody knows who that was. We just had a funeral for him. He's like in an unmarked grave in the city cemetery.
I don't care how much money that guy is. He's a fucking intellectual pauper and needs to be buried in a pauper's grave. That's an unknown person. I wouldn't even mark his grave site. There'd be no obituary. No, I wouldn't even call the cops and let the other animals eat him. That's not even a person anymore. This story is from WFTV.com. Man sues Whataburger for almost $1 million.
Jesus Christ.
Over no onion special request.
There's some requests as a person who might have allergies or whatever that are understandable and okay. But I think as someone who has allergies, you've got to expect that if you go to a place and you have deathly allergies, like I have a friend of mine, his wife cannot eat certain things. Like there's some stuff she just cannot metabolize. She gets very, very ill. Not deathly ill, right? Not sick to the point where she's going to have to be hospitalized, but sick enough where they literally don't even eat out anymore. They didn't even try to do it. They're like, no, we just won't do it because like there's too many risks for her health if they go because there's like too many things that she can't consume. So they know that you can't do it. This person's like, yeah, I'm going to go to a place where like, if you walk in, they probably throw an onion at you. Like, are you kidding me? Like, it's like that's all they serve there is like onions on burgers. And they're like, yeah, I didn't get it. I wanted to make sure that there was no onions anywhere near it. And you're like, okay, now you're being a little ridiculous. This isn't the McDonald's story where the person actually got really, really burned and like one of those things. It's not one of those. This is a very frivolous lawsuit.
This is like, if Haley is at a place where we haven't been able to go to a restaurant for years. If we go out to like someone else's house, she brings her own food for like literally the same reasons you were describing. It's not that she'll die, but she'll be extremely uncomfortable.
She'll be uncomfortable.
We're not swinging over to fucking Whataburger to cross our fingers. Like if somebody's got a life-threatening allergy and you're going to like swing over and be like, well, I hope some indifferent teenager being paid minimum wage doesn't kill me today with a careless mistake. Like that would be like going to a gun range where like all the fucking ranges were randomly oriented every few minutes. Right? They're not even all facing the same direction.
And the people running it were all blind.
Right. What? And then you go and somebody shoots you and you're like, well, I didn't think anything would happen. Like, what?
Yeah.
You did a stupid thing. Like, that's a stupid thing to do.
I recognize that there are people with life-threatening allergies, and I sympathize with those people.
Same.
And I also recognize too that a lot of those people are very careful, and they would never do anything like this. This is clearly, and we're talking about this, but this is clearly like a frivolous lawsuit. This person has had lawsuits like this thrown out in the past.
Yeah, they've done this over and over.
This is a frivolous lawsuit. But I will say this, like, there's people like, and I really feel for people like that. I'll tell you what. Recently, and I want to say it's in the last maybe 5 or 6 years, I can't stand the smell of truffle oil. So if like somebody uses truffle oil on something that's at the table, most of the time it's enough for me to lose my appetite. If it's served on something I'm gonna eat, I will immediately send it back or just not. I just won't eat it. I'll be like, yeah, I can't eat that. It's an aversion I've developed over the past several years, where now I just can't eat it at all. I can't smell it. I can't eat it. I just don't like the way it smells or tastes. So that seems to be an ingredient that a lot of people use all the time. And so I've got to make sure I ask about it. I've got to ask people and be like, is there truffle oil on it? Because it's just one of those things that I'm adverse to. It's not even going to hurt me.
Right.
It's not even going to hurt me.
It's just an aversion.
And it's just an annoyance. And I'm like very careful with it. So I know these people who have to deal with like peanut allergies or, these other things that can really fuck you up. They are very, very careful with the things that they have to do. And probably a lot of people with peanuts and things like that, especially those things that are really, really that can really cause a bad, dangerous reaction. Those people have to be very careful, and they might not even eat out. I would imagine a lot of those people don't even eat out.
And I don't want to sound callous. I am living that life myself right now. We do not go out. We don't order in. We can't do that. It super sucks. I get it. I empathize completely. Like, I just want to be able to go out. But if you'll die because somebody you don't know put an onion on a burger at a fast food, I'm not going to the fucking fast food place.
Yeah.
Because
it wasn't because he was going to die either.
I know it wasn't. This is a bull. This whole thing is bullshit. I'm just saying.
Gets a little gassy.
Yeah.
He's a little gassy.
Oh, my tum. I need $1 million. I farted a little bit.
God,
I'd be so rich.
I'd be so rich. I'd be so rich.
I would like one French onion soup, please, and a palace. This is a nice story. This story comes from the AP. An Oregon man who quit his job to set sail with his cat arrives to cheering fans in Hawaii.
Adorable.
What I love about this is he taught himself to sail by watching videos on YouTube. He was just like, yeah, it kind of seems like it'd be cool. I'll buy this fucking $50,000 boat, fix some stuff up on it, grab my cat, watch a few videos, and then head out on the open ocean.
I love that they have a cat that's just like along with them. It's like their sailing cat.
It's a sailing cat.
I fucking love it.
That's great. I think it sounds like when I think of like these guys that do the cross the ocean by themselves, I'm like, God, fucking sounds so lonely. But like maybe if I had a cat with me, I'd be like,
if you had a nice cat.
It's
Especially
not so
when
bad.
It talks all the time. It might be okay. I'm always amazed when people are like, yeah, man, I just crossed the entire ocean. And you're like, dude, I don't know that I'd want to do that.
I know, man.
Like that seems like such a dangerous, but there's like people who will be like, yeah, I just got into a boat and just like fucking went across the whole ocean. That's a whole different breed of person than I am.
No,
I'm like, nah, man, that ain't for me, man. I ain't doing that.
Dude, I think that all the time when I say I'm just like, oh, we're different species. We're literally, you are the advanced version of whatever piece of shit I am. I'm fucking like the fucking version 1.3. And those guys are like version 7, and they're just like, yeah, all right. Yeah, same basic shape and structure, but obviously not the same thing.
I don't even want to shop at a different grocery store.
Dude, I've seen like videos of like big tanker ships in these enormous storms.
Oh, I know, right?
And I'm just like, there's a zero. I wouldn't find myself in that. No.
There is a part of me. So when I was a kid, I lived in a city that was along the canal. So that canal that connects Lake Michigan to the Mississippi ran right through my city, right? Lockport was one of the cities I grew up in. And so when we would go to the grocery store, sometimes those guys would pull over their barge, they would call a cab or whatever, and then they would take a cab up to the grocery store, and then they'd buy a bunch of supplies, and then they would put those supplies into the cab and go back. And I remember seeing all the food that they would get. And I was like a little kid, and I was seeing like they'd have these big carts, because it's all dudes on these, big guys that are on these barges that got to do all this work. So they come up with like 2 or 3 carts full of food that they've got in this thing that they're bringing back. And I remember being like, as a kid who didn't have a lot to eat, I was like, I kind of want to do that when I'm older.
Right, yeah, man.
Like my brain was like, I kind of want to be a barge guy when I get older. I want to do that. I want to be a barge guy. And there was a part of me, a genuine part of me that was like, that would be a kind of cool thing to be, able to be like, because what I really love about that idea is that you're seeing a part of the world that lots of people don't get to see together. Like you may be able to go to this one part of the bank of this canal, but you don't get to experience the canal itself as you view it. It's a lot like a train track, right? It's like that sort of view that you get is unique to that train. It's like you get to see that as a passenger on the train, or as a passenger on that's unique to that. And it always appealed to me, that idea of like being on a mode of transportation where like no one else gets to see this sort of view constantly that you get to see was always very appealing. There was a part of me, a genuine part of me that was like, that would be cool. But then you think about all the stuff that they have to do and be like, yeah, once in a while they nip off a leg when they're doing the barge stuff. And I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm all right. I don't need. I need all these. These are my grabbing fingers. I don't want to get rid of those.
Yeah, sometimes these guys fall off the fucking oil rig or whatever, and just never seen again. You're like, I don't want to be that guy.
I'm good.
No,
I'm good.
I'd like to be seen again.
Yeah, there's a romantic part of me that's like, that sounds fun, and then there's a logical part of me that's like, you can just edit video.
Yeah, man,
like, that's another thing you can do.
I used to think. It's so funny, Cecil. I used to think I was an entirely different person than I actually am. I used to think I wanted, like, I used to romanticize long-haul truck driving in much the same way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to think like, oh man, it sounds great. It'd just be like, I'll get like a little dog or something. I'll be alone with my thoughts, and I'll like travel the country, and I'll see the country, and I'll just be like me and this independent force of just myself and my thoughts. That's not me at all. At all. I don't know who I thought the fuck I was. That's not me at all. I don't want to be alone with my thoughts. I don't want my thoughts at all, much less to be alone with them. I want other people to have to deal with that shit.
My dad was a trucker.
I know. Was he a long haul?
Yeah, my dad was a trucker. He was for times in his life, he would do the haul stuff where he would travel. The farthest he ever went was like multi-state Midwest.
Okay.
He was never like, go to California with a truck. Like the farthest he would go would be like Missouri or, maybe Nebraska or something like that. But then he'd come back. So it was like kind of Midwest-ish, near West. He never had to go over the Rockies. So it was never anything that far out. And he would travel to sometimes go to Pennsylvania, sometimes go to Missouri. But then often what his job was, he would just be the guy who was local. So he would just do local runs. And that's what he wanted, was a job where you just get up in the morning, you get in your truck, you deliver the things you need to deliver around here, and then you come home at night. That's what he wanted to do. But sometimes that's just impossible to find a job like that. You gotta have a job where you travel. And there's some people, I know there's people who listen to this show that are long haul truckers.
Yeah, we've gotten emails from them.
Yeah. We got emails from where they just travel. That's their life. They just travel those things, and then they live mostly in the truck or in places where they visit and things like that. I've had to stay in a truck overnight with my dad when I was with him a couple times. I've stayed in truck stops where we slept in the bunk, like that bunk.
Oh, really?
So there's he had like a sleeper thing, and I was a little kid at the time.
I bet that was awesome as a kid, though.
It was neat. It was really cool. And Dad was like, cool, let's go eat. And I'd get to eat something at the truck stop. And then, you just get in and you drive around, and
that's a cool experience. If you wanted to take a nap,
you could just crawl behind Dad and go to sleep for a little while. It was pretty cool, actually.
That's an awesome experience.
A passenger, as when my dad was driving it. So
I think my mental health would collapse. Absolutely, fucking bottom out within a month. Within a month, I would fucking fall apart. Yeah, I would be a goddamn fucking train wreck. Like, I don't like time. I'm not a solitary person, Cecil.
And also sitting and just it's not really sitting still, though, because you're moving, so.
I don't mind driving. I can drive for a long time because it doesn't feel sedentary. It really doesn't to me.
Yeah.
This is a fucking Florida article, if there was ever a Florida article. OcalaNews.com. Ocala woman arrested after punching officer's testicles, refusing to pay tab at steakhouse. I just like...
You ever play Mortal Kombat, Tom?
Dude, that's Sonya's move, right?
Right?
Yes.
She would do the splits.
And then
she'd punch you right in your fucking
junk.
gonads.
Yeah.
And then you just, like, that's what the first thing I thought is they came up and, like, Johnny Cage came up and then she was like, pooh. Maybe that was was that Johnny Cage's maneuver?
No,
It might have been Johnny Cage who did it.
Who, really? I thought it was that Sonya. I
don't know. Maybe Sonya did a different thing.
Okay.
She did a different. She like did a grab and a flip. I thought.
Okay.
I thought she like grabbed you by the head. Then Johnny Cage was the one who did the splits. Now that I remember it, because we're gonna get corrected, and I don't want to. I want to make sure whoever does it, if you do it, just please have your glasses on when you do it. Like make sure you adjust your glasses before you send the email to tell us who punched who in the balls on Mortal Kombat.
I have played Mortal Kombat in 30+ years. So
I haven't played it in a long time.
I'm wrong.
When I did play it, I played it a lot. Let me tell you.
I played Mortal Kombat on the Sega Genesis.
I played it add a coin to it.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I was add a coin to it and then fight the guy next to you.
Oh man.
So it was like PvP. Early form of PvP was the guy next to you at a quarter, and you wasted his quarter when you punched him in the balls. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Johnny Cage. Now I think about it.
I'm sure it was.
Whatever.
Look, I am 100% sure I'm wrong about this. I have no.
What? Why are you in a steakhouse punching people in the balls? That's the thing. I guess really you just said it at the beginning. It's Florida. So
it's Florida. This is it. Like, let me just read what happened here. So she's at this place called Mark's Prime Steakhouse. She refused to pay her tab, according to the rest report. When one of the officers entered the restaurant, King was observed sitting at the bar, and the report stated she appeared to be intoxicated. A manager informed the officer that King was refusing to pay her tab, which was $99.53. The officer assisted with escorting King out of the steakhouse into the patio area, where she sat down in a chair. According to the report, a bystander offered to help King by getting the cash she needed to pay for her tab, though she would first need to send the money to the bystander via Venmo. The report stated that King gave the officer permission to assist with sending the money to the bystander. And while the officer was attempting to send the money while using King's cell phone, everyone is trying to help this lady. While using her cell phone, King allegedly became agitated and stated that the officer should just leave her alone instead. She then snatched her phone from the officer before allegedly raising her right fist and pulled it back as far as she could and proceeded to punch the officer in the testicles. Moments later, she was placed under arrest.
Yeah, I bet she was. I bet she was roughly put into the car, too.
I bet he treated her like he was a fucking kangaroo in the petting zoo.
Contempt and nuts, let me tell you.
What is happening in your life when you go out and eat $100 worth of steak and you're like, I ain't paying, I'm punching that guy in the nuts that's trying to help me, and I'm going to jail today.
If you have the money in an account that can transfer from Venmo, shouldn't you have a way to get it to somebody? Like, what is happening?
I don't understand any of what I read.
Yeah,
I want to be clear. I don't know anything about what I read except for, like, you don't punch the guy in the nuts and expect that, like, everything's going well tonight, right? Like, he's going to have a bad time. You're going to have a worse time.
I guarantee she was 4 or 5 Jell-O shots in.
Her server was a kindergartner, so that makes sense. It stories from the Post and Courier in Spartanburg. A nudist resort sits in a rural corner of the upstate. Its naked 5K offers you a glimpse inside.
I'm sorry. That's a young man's game. That's all I'm saying. Because any man who's older, your nuts are going to be flopping around so hard when you're running a 5K if they're just hanging out in the world. You think that guy had a hard time getting punched in the balls? You're going to punch yourself in the balls with your own thighs
every step
for the entire fucking run.
Every step. I can't think in my mind of a less visually appealing event than a naked 5K.
Really, genuinely.
Like everybody's body looks absurd when it's running and naked. And like everything bounces around. The parts you like bounce, the parts you don't like bounce. Everything's just fucking flopping and jiggling about. That is the least sexy thing I can imagine.
As a guy who's run quite a bit, let me tell you, the real aim of clothing when it comes to running is making sure that you don't chafe, right? So chafing is huge. That's one of the worst things is chafing. So you wear shit to make sure you don't chafe. At least I do. You could also put like fucking goop on yourself to like protect yourself from chafing. But now you got to put it on your balls too, because you got to like on your balls and then on your thighs. Most of the time, the clothing you're wearing is like restrictive in some ways to stop that from bouncing around. Dude, like women for sure are going to wear a sports bra when they run.
Dude, I can't even imagine a naked 5K where you're not greased up. Like I would oil myself up like I was
covered. You're covered in that chafe, in that non-chafing shit.
Dude, I would coat myself in a fucking gallon of Vaseline.
Yeah, like you're cracking eggs on your head before you run through or whatever. Like it's insane. Like the idea of this, I can't even imagine. Dude, I can't even imagine a naked 100-yard dash, let alone a 5K.
Like I know in my head, intellectually, I know that like there had to be periods in time where people were mostly naked, and probably just part of the world probably where people are very much naked or close to naked and they're running around doing stuff, right? And they're chasing fucking bears or whatever it is. I get that. I do. I know that intellectually, but I also am like, yeah, but they don't live like regular Western fucking pampered lives. My nuts are pampered, man. My nuts have been coddled for 47 years. They've been treated just so. I don't have fucking immune nuts.
My entire life, I've been feeding this thing. It's chubby.
Yes.
It's big. I'm going to have things that overhang.
Yeah,
like
man.
I'm going to have a lot of different overhangs. So those things are going to bounce and chafe. And I'm a pretty normal guy. So a lot of these people, like you got to be, I think what you are is like one of those people who like constantly runs and you look like somebody who constantly runs. Yeah. And that's so like, maybe it would be a lot easier if I was a lot thinner, but I'll tell you what, the older you get, the lower they sag.
Yeah, man.
So those things, that's like, you're basically just, you fucking speed bag your own balls when you run. Like, why would you do that to yourself?
I have no idea.
Dude.
Yeah, if you're like a chesty lady, that just sounds horrible.
You knock yourself out.
Just fucking whack. You can whack your neighbor behind you.
You kidding me? You just whack. You just fucking your back. You'll see stars. All right, that's going to wrap it up for our show this week. We'll be back on Monday with a full show, and we're going to leave you like we always do with the Skeptic's Creed.
Credulity is not a virtue. It's fortune cookie cutter, mommy issue, hypno Babylon bullshit.